Hi everyone, my name is Allie and I am currently enrolled in Biology 161 at Penn State for this 2024 fall semester. Today I am going to be talking about hearing and more specifically the structures and functions within the ear that contribute to hearing. I hope you enjoy. To start off, we are going to take a look at the anatomy of the ear. The ear consists of three main areas, which are the external, middle, and inner ear. On the right, you will find an overview of the ear and each of the three main areas before we dive in to taking a closer look at each area. The first part of the ear we will be taking a closer look at is the external ear and its function. The main function of the external ear is that it collects and amplifies sound. It is divided into two parts, which are the auricle and the auditory canal. The auricle directs sound waves, and the auditory canal is an S-curved tube that is attached to the tympanic membrane. We will discuss more about the tympanic membrane in the next slide. Pictured is a diagram of the external ear. Now we are going to take a look at the middle ear. The middle ear's main function is to transmit vibrations from the tympanic membrane to the inner ear through something called ossicles. I will go into more detail about that momentarily. The middle ear also contains the eustachian tube, which plays a significant role when transmitting vibrations. The picture in this slide to the right is the tympanic membrane of the ear, which is the thin membrane that is located between the external and middle ear. On the left you will see the location of the eustachian tube, which as you can see looks quite long. That is because the eustachian tube actually connects the middle ear all the way to the throat and the nose. I mentioned ossicles briefly when I was explaining the process of transmitting vibrations from the middle ear to the inner ear. Ossicles are known as the bones within the middle ear, and they are actually the smallest bones in our bodies. There are three ossicles, which are the malleus, the incus, and the stapes. They are also known as hammer, anvil, and stirrup. You will see all three ossicle bones pictured below. When the middle ear transmits vibrations, it starts with the malleus, which is the largest of the three bones, and is attached to the eardrum. When sensing and transmitting a vibration, the malleus will articulate this to the incus. The incus, which is the middle bone and situated between the malleus and the stapes, will signal the stapes once it receives alert from the malleus. Once the stapes is notified, it will communicate with the inner ear, and that is where sound waves are converted into neural signals. This process is also known as auditory transductions. Another important aspect to the process of auditory transductions is the eustachian tube, which I previously mentioned. I will provide the overview of the eustachian tube in this slide once again in order to get another better look and also have shown the unique structure of the ossicles. The eustachian tube is important because its job is to equalize air pressure in the middle ear with air in the atmosphere. This helps the eardrum properly function in order to vibrate and correctly transmit sound. I went ahead and darkened where the stapes is located as it is a little difficult to see. It is so tiny because that is actually the smallest bone in the human body. Moving right along to the inner ear, its main function is to transform vibrations into electrical signals which then transfer any information to the auditory pathway in the brain. The inner ear also maintains balance by detecting position and motion. I will go further in depth with these functions and each process within the next few slides. Feel free to take a moment to review the list of words I have on this slide, as they will soon be discussed. We are going to first take a look at the bony labyrinth, vestibule, and cochlea as they describe the structure and main regions of the inner ear. The bony labyrinth consists of a series of bone cavities within the inner ear and is made up of three regions. Two of the regions are the vestibule and the cochlea. They are branches from the eighth cranial nerve but have different but equally important functions. The third structure within the bony labyrinth are semicircular canals that are filled with a fluid called perilymph and help maintain balance. The vestibule is the central part of the bony labyrinth and is separated by the oval window. The oval window is the entrance opening from the middle ear to the cochlea of the inner ear, as you can see in the green highlighted area in the picture to the right. Moving on to the cochlea, which is the auditory part of the ear, it is a spiral-shaped organ and is also filled with perilymph fluid within tubes. These fluid-filled tubes are known as the scala vestibuli and the scala tympani. The cochlear duct is also located in the cochlea and creates the two canals I previously mentioned, the scala vestibuli and the scala tympani. They are located above and below the cochlear duct. The scala tympani is located below the cochlear duct and at the end of the round window, which is the exit opening connecting the cochlea to the middle ear. Within this spiral-shaped organ duct, there is a layer of hair cells also known as the organ of Corti. The purpose of the hair cells is to trigger nerve signals regarding sound. They are triggered by the scala tympani and the scala vestibuli as these fluids move in wave-like motions whenever vibrations come from the middle ear. The scala tympani and vestibuli are also covered by membranes that separate them from the cochlear duct. These membranes are called the tectorial membrane, also known as Reissner membrane, which layers the vestibuli, and the basilar membrane, which layers over the scala tympani. These membranes play a big role in stimulating the hair cells. For example, the basilar will separate incoming sound into frequencies, which is why certain sounds will be heard in a higher or lower pitch. To wrap up everything we just learned, I wanted to show the entire overview of the ear and all the structures that make up the external, middle, and inner ear. I find it very interesting for a body part that is so small, it contains so many structures that contribute to the amazing gift known as hearing. I wanted to thank you all for taking the time to watch my video and hear all that I learned. Hopefully, I was able to teach you something new today about our anatomy. Lastly, here are any references and pictures I used in this presentation. I highly recommend you check out the website Teach Me Anatomy. If you have any questions about anatomy, this is a really great source.